Ching Cafe. My name is Belinda Doveston, and it is wonderful that you are here with me for our weekly I Ching forecast for this week, the 17th of March, 2025. Before we get into what this week is asking us to pay attention to, let us cast our minds back to last week where we had the energy of Hexagram 37, the family, right, and the mother energy of holding together everything and corralling and putting arms around the whole family and holding everything together and holding that space, focusing on the work that's in front of us, not trying to seek personal glory, just being present with the work that's in front of you, being that ultimate mother, the matriarch, holding together the whole family line. And Hexagram 5, waiting, talking about, yes, the rain is coming, we can see it coming, we can see the clouds accumulating and coming towards us, yet it is not yet here. And while it is coming and on its way, let us make good use of the time to prepare. So an interesting combination of energies for us last week, working with the family, being like a matriarch, and developing patience, that what we need is not yet here, but it is coming. So how did that work out for you? What did that mean for you last week as you worked with that family idea? Did lots of family issues come up, or were you called to be the glue that sticks the family together? Whether that is by being focused on the principle, being in principle, and letting that principle bind everyone together. What was the week guiding you to pay attention to? And as always, remember that it's not just about your physical DNA family. It can also be about your work family, or some kind of community or family environment that is beyond the traditional understanding of what a family is. Okay, so I can share with you my insight from last week was that I was part of a team where we pulled off this wonderful big event. It was very successful, and we all worked really, really hard to just stay focused on holding together all these people that were participating in the event, creating a space where everyone got what they need and knew what to do. And so this energy of the family working harmoniously with other people to hold it together and get this show on the road, it was a really wonderful reminder of what this energy can mean in so many different ways to everybody. So if there's something that came up for you, please do share a comment. It'd be lovely to have your contribution to your experience of working with these beautiful 2 hexagrams this past week. Okay, where do we go to next? What's our energy for this week that we're being asked to dial into and work with? And it is a locked hexagram. Okay, so I don't know what's going on here that we're having all these locked hexagrams. Things are very stable, okay, very focused, doubling down the energy. We had earlier this month, we had locked 42 increase. And for this week, very interesting synchronicity. We have hexagram 56, the Wanderer, locked. Okay, so if you have watched the monthly for March, you will know that our second hexagram for March is the Wanderer. And here, as we go over the midway point of March, here we have the Wanderer, locked. So we know that there's a doubling down and intensification of this wanderer traveling energy that is playing out right now in our monthly and doubling down this week on our weekly. What does that mean? Okay, so the wanderer, this hexagram, if we look at the structure of the hexagram, we have mountain on the bottom and fire on the top. Okay, what is stable, what is fixed, what is known? The below the mountain, okay. The fire is the movement, moves up, okay, and it is a movement away from the fixed and the stable into something new, okay. So when we have this hexagram, we work with the idea of travel to new places and through new experiences. For some of us, this might be physical travel that's planned, okay, and for others, it might be an expansion of consciousness, stepping into something new, going on a new adventure, being aware of where this new adventure is taking you in a new direction, into a new experience. Now, home is always home, right? We've just had family, home. And we go on these adventures and we come back to home, right? We come back to the home base. So with this hexagram, it brings this idea of we're going and we're stretching out from what we know, we're leaving behind perhaps for a time what we know, and we are pushing out into something new. And I just thought this was so amazing when I looked at this hexagram and I thought, okay, last week we had family, okay, now we've got the wanderer, okay, so we've got that connection to the monthly. And like literally in this weekend between those two hexagrams, I finalized a trip to go and see family overseas, right? Which is only happening in next month, but it got finalized now, right in this point between the traveler and family. And I just think this process of the I Ching is just so incredible if we pay attention to how it's connecting to our flows in our life. Anyway, the wanderer. What we do when we travel is we travel well, okay? That means that we obviously are well prepared, we have all our paperwork, we know what we've got to do, we've packed well, we're planning ahead, okay? We're thinking about those kinds of things. But when we get into this foreign culture, into this new experience that we're going into, we recognize that we are now in foreign territory, okay? These are things that we don't know, right? We don't know the customs, we don't know the environment. We are here because we are open and we're expanding our consciousness to learn new things. We're not judging what we come across. We are experiencing them and we're staying open to them. And when we travel, we also travel well in how we conduct ourselves in the midst of this new experience. We don't go into someone else's culture, into someone else's house, right? And try and dictate to them how they should behave based on our house, right? We are going on these experiences for the purpose of expanding our view of the world, expanding our view of our environment, our industry. Okay, we are opening ourselves up to seeing how other people do things. That is not the time when we bring arrogance and we bring judgment and we bring condescending dictation to how other people should behave, how other environments should work. We are just staying open. So as we go through this week, right, there might be opportunities to connect to physical travel like I've had, right? There might be those kinds of experiences. And for me, getting this hexagram and last week's family and the timing of buying tickets and all that, I feel like what it does for me is it says, you're in the right place at the right time. The flow is as it should be. This is exactly how things should be. This is in the moment. You're connected and lined up. All you have to do is move forward. So for me, that's what it brings. But what it does is it calls us to paying attention to this expansion, this leaving behind of what we know. And we all have that thing where we cling on for dear life to the old city. You know, when you read the hexagram lines talking about the old capital or the old city, where we're leaving behind what we know and we are being brave to embrace and open ourselves up. All right, expand our consciousness and be aware and open ourselves up to the learning that comes next. Physical travel might be in the week, awareness of travel, but also for most of us, this idea of connecting to what is this new journey. All right, and you might find that with this hexagram, like they all do, it's not necessarily about something that happens in the week that just lands. It's about tuning us into a facet we need to pay attention to. Tuning us into this week areas where we are needing to leave behind the old and expand into the new, or reminding us of where we are doing that. Sometimes I find with the hexagrams, they come up in the week and they just remind me like, okay, you're doing this, right? Yeah, this travel's important now. This is exactly what it needs to be. Or whatever the hexagram is, and it brings you an awareness of where you are in your flow and what is happening around you and what is it that you need to do and focus upon. So, an interesting week for us to work with travel and with understanding when we travel, how well do we travel. And of course, when we think about travel, we're thinking beyond our physical travel. We're thinking about when we go into new experiences, how do we behave? Do we approach them with this appreciation or just like this openness of like, wow, taking it all in, the new culture, okay, just observing and, exploring and finding new things and just being excited and energized by the journey? Or do we travel in a way that we keep on butting against the old order, okay, the old way within ourselves that is resisting the new thing that we are experiencing. A new culture doesn't have to be your culture. When you travel, you're not being asked to abandon who you are and where you come from. What you're being asked to do is to be open and embracing and curious to understand the world that you're in. That's all. That's what travel is. And when we come back and we bring that experience back into our lives, we are the richer for it because we see the world now from another point of view, another perspective, as opposed to this one single view that we have of the world, our world, looking inside out as opposed to outside in. We have perspective now. And certainly you can see that in kids who go for a gap year at the end of their schooling, and they go and they travel and they backpack across Europe or wherever they may go. And when they come back, their view of the world is like, wow, so much broader, so much more inclusive, so much kinder and compassionate, because we've seen the world from a lot of different perspectives. When we are very narrow, okay, what comes? Judgment, all right, and all kinds of single-mindedness that blocks out all the beautiful colors that are in the rainbow for us to pay attention to. So an interesting week, short and sweet. We are traveling this week. Get your passports ready, get your mind ready, get organized, because new experiences are on the horizon. And perhaps this week we get a little hint of what might be some of the expansion and the horizons we might be moving towards. And considering that the second half of the whole of March is connected to the Wanderer, something profound, I affirm for you, emerges out of the quantum soup, brings a reflection back, and gives you insight as to where the new adventure is or should be. So happy traveling this week. I'm traveling with you, so staying open in my life, paying attention, being curious, being open. What do we need to learn? What do we need to see? What are the new adventures we are all embarking upon? Thank you so much for being here with me for this week's overview and forecast. This was meaningful, interesting. A thumbs up, a like would be really great. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell and the thing and the following and whatever's, if you'd like to get the episodes into your app as soon as they land. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in our next weekly overview, because time is running forward and we need to take advantage of every single moment that we have to grow, to be kind and compassionate, and to learn and expand our consciousness and apply that in making our world a better place. See you soon.